if there was one thing that I learned watching the newest episode of The Penguin, is that Sofia Falcone deserves better. Man, she was really casted out throughout this whole episode. She was really doubted throughout this episode. No one in her family believed her. No one in her family supported her. No one in her family liked her just because she knew the truth. And that is heartbreaking to watch, in my opinion. It made me literally wanting to jump through the screen and enter inside the Batman universe just to free Sofia out of Arkham, because the way that she was put in Arkham was just not fair. And it came from her own blood, and not just her own blood, but from her own father. And by me saying all of this, I'll have to actually explain what I'm talking about, because the episode starts off where it left off in the last episode, because we saw that Penguin snaked Sofia. But in this time, we actually see a better version of it, because we see it from Sofia's perspective. Because when they were held at gunpoint by that lady who crashed their van outside that nightclub, we saw that the Penguin, he actually sold her out. The Penguin said, "Oh, I don't even like her anyways, because even though I'm doing this, I just really want to get on your side. You can trust me," saying the exact same things that he said to Sofia, because that lady brought it up that, "Oh, you didn't know that Penguin killed your brother. Penguin was the one that killed your brother, and you didn't know that?" So that's the first sign that we see that Sofia deserves better in this episode, because Penguin lied to her throughout this entire series so far. She trusted him, and he threw her trust to the ground. But after we see Penguin speed off and we see Sofia, she's calling Dr. Julian Rush, who I think is Hugo Strange. But after she calls Julian Rush, we now see her get knocked out, aka due to the blood loss. But we now also see a flashback scene, and we see Sofia remembering her time with Alberto Falcone. And Alberto, of course, he wasn't really the greatest member of the family. He was an alcoholic, he was a party maniac, and his dad, Carmine Falcone, really wanted something better for Alberto to be in the crime industry. He wanted Alberto to actually be serious and not be a clown. But we also saw a flashback within a flashback of a young Sofia. She saw the lifeless body of her mother hanging, and we now see that Carmine was actually there at that same time, and he now basically shielded her from seeing the lifeless body. But then we now go back into the future of the flashback. Then we now see that the Penguin, he is a driver for Sofia, and this is before Sofia's time in Arkham. Sofia, she is a very nice lady here. She is not criminally insane yet. She is not mentally troubled yet, and she has a lot of friends. She has a lot of good people that she can trust, and also the Penguin she can trust as well. But we now also see a little thing that I like that they put, because we saw that Alberto was an asshole to Penguin when he was the driver of Sofia, and we also saw that Sofia was an asshole to the Penguin when he was a driver. So this kind of gives the Penguin some reasoning as to why he's screwing over the Falcone family, because they have always casted him aside. Even someone that he really actually connected with, Sofia, even she casted him aside. So that little part I liked. But the real plot really starts to come alive when we start to see that Sofia is being actually hunted by this reporter named Summer. This reporter was at this little get-together that this family hosted, and she was asking Sofia some questions that were incriminating. So Sofia at first declined to answer any single question until later that night. She now told the Penguin to stop driving at this particular location so that she can now talk to this reporter. And then the reporter was giving her some factual information about the recent serial murders that happened with a lot of women working at the nightclub, and they were all strangled, and they were all strangled in a way that people thought that it was a suicide because they were hanging, but it was actually strangulation. And Sofia, she still declined to even give this reporter any information, but it's too late because Penguin broke her trust. Penguin told Carmine about this because Sofia talked to the reporter behind his back. And that's the second time her trust was broken. But this is the real part where I say fuck Carmine Falcone for life, because he ruined Sofia Falcone's life. He actually confronted Sofia Falcone about meeting the reporter, and he actually killed the reporter after Sofia met with her, so then he could not frame Sofia of all the murders that he committed, including the reporter. And it was actually revealed that Carmine actually killed Sofia's mom. And it's actually revealed that Carmine is the hangman and not Sofia. So that's why she got framed. And the police officer that we see in the Batman, I forgot his name, he's working under the Carmine Falcone family. And due to Carmine's orders, this police officer arrests Sofia, and they're not holding back on actually burying her in the judicial system. They took away her fair trial. They took away anything that could be used at her advantage. And it was heartbreaking to see that Alberto, he was so devastated in seeing that he could not do anything to get Sofia out of this predicament. He could not do anything to free Sofia from Arkham. Then we now see the actual introduction of Dr. Julian Rush. She meets Dr. Julian Rush in Arkham because he is assigned to her. But we also see that Julian Rush and another doctor, they are actually working under Carmine Falcone. They were sent here to make sure that Sofia is kept in check, and they're doing things to make her seem that she's mentally ill. The first example is that they put this lady that she was mentally unstable. They did not put any chains and shackles onto her. They not let her attack Sofia and brutally attack her, almost killing Sofia. But then they not actually repeat that thing, but this time it's switched. This time Sofia has no chains and the lady has chains. But Sofia does not want to kill this lady because, you know, she's not a violent person. She's not this person they're trying to paint her as to be. But the lady kind of forces Sofia to get into a little tussle. Then the lady now grabs a knife and now stabs herself with the knife. And then this unfortunately causes her to be deemed criminally insane. So now there is no trial. She just committed murder inside Arkham. And also we see the introduction of Magpie, a Batman villain, and we see her that she's in Arkham trying to make friends with Sofia, but also she is possibly sent by Carmine, because that's what Sofia thinks after she now hears from Alberto that there is no hope, no trial, nothing. She is here and she's here to stay. And Alberto was crying. He really wanted her to be free, but Sofia, she just took it on the chin. She realized this is my new home now. Then when she now met with Magpie again, she now realized the things you're asking me, you're asking information about me, you're asking a lot of things about me. Are you from Carmine? Then Sofia now hits Magpie's head so hard that I think she died. So I think we saw the death of Magpie, but this causes Sofia to stay at Arkham for 10 years. Then we now flash back to the future, we now flash back to the present, and we see Sofia waking up in Dr. Julian Rush's home. And I thought they were about to fuck, I ain't gonna lie. She actually kind of led him on, but she just really was trying to see that this is how he was always looking at her, if that makes sense. But then Sofia now goes to the Carmine family because they're holding a wake for Alberto Falcone's death. And this scene I really liked because she got her revenge. She got her get back on people that have judged her, that have casted her out, that have disrespected her, that have broken her trust. And this is where the whole trust theme I'm trying to point out in this video, because everyone destroyed her trust, her own family, her own friends, her own accomplices, her own workers, hell, her own driver, the Penguin. Every single body has destroyed her trust. So she now takes that revenge, because after the event, Sofia, after she does her little speech, she now actually tells a kid there to go sleep at the greenhouse part with her overnight. But then we now actually see her real intentions, because this side of the house has no access way for any chemical gas. that she has put into the house. And this chemical gas kills most members of the family, except for Johnny Vitti, because we see Sofia now tell Johnny Vitti to get your pants on. And that's the end of the episode. And I really like that part because Sofia got her revenge on people that alienated her and people that just hated her own family. And it was so messed up to see Sofia unwillingly turn criminally insane in Arkham and now post Arkham. So now Sofia, she's an actual villain, but this is not by her choice at first, but now this is her choice and this is her life that she is doing. This episode was actually insane, man. We saw the backstory of Sofia Falcone, man. But what do you guys think of this episode, man? This series still continues to put out bangers after bangers after bangers. This series does not know anything about mid. They just know about peak, man. That's the end of the video. I'm out. Peace.